everyone. Welcome to my live stream. It's Friday, which means it's Chibi Friday for me. I started this Chibi caricature of my pet pigeon Sora last week, and I got all the way through all the inking and everything all in one stream. Went from nothing to sketch to completely done with ink work. Here's a little close-up of it. Yes, I love it when my camera what's the word? Focuses automatically. It doesn't always work right. Here's the little detail look. So next, as you might guess, or from this, the thing I'm going to do this time is Copic marker coloring. So I'm just doing my standard favorite style of what am I trying to say? Of creating a chibi drawing. And I just realized that I need to get up a reference photo. I had the reference photo over there on my secondary monitor, but I'll just get it up on my phone this time so I don't have to mess with anything on my PC, because the actual PC is like over there in a different workstation. This is kind of confusing. I just need a picture of Sora, so I'm just going to search Google Photos for bird, and hopefully it will bring up, oh, that's cool, it brings up the pictures I've been taking of my cardinal griffin, like it recognizes that that's a bird. Okay, let's see. Yeah, it's bringing up lots of pictures of Sora, so, oh, I think, here it is. So this is the one of two references that I was using. If it'll focus. Oh, the light is so bright on it, but there she is. So you can see the similarity there. So I've got this. And I think I won't even need to look at this other one. Well, I don't know. Yeah, I think I might switch. Because in this one, her wings are blurry. Then this one, her head is not as cute, but the wings are still. Either way, I've got reference for her general coloring, which is mostly gray, but her feathers have a cool light reflecting property, I guess. Then she looks green or pink or purple, depending on how the light's hitting her. Oh, Exie, hello! Hello, hello! How are you doing? Great to see you! Yay, my Friday is ending awesome. Thanks to Exie showing up in the chat. Exie the xenobotanist still? Yes. Ooh, did you get any word from any university yet? I mean, I know it's only been a couple more days. Probably not, but getting into the botany program. Or graphic design. That's what you told me yesterday. Yeah, you might go into graphic design. That would be cool too. Okay, looking at, I think I'm going to do the warm grays for Sora, because with when I look at the reference picture, she definitely, I'd either use toner gray or warm gray. These are way too cool of colors. So I'm just going to go over to my marker rack and grab, let's see. She does have some lighter feathers, but I'm going to grab, let's see, 1, 3, 5. Yeah, I'll grab all the odd number ones just to start. Hold on a second, I'm stepping over here. Warm 1, 3, 5, 7, and 9. Nice gradient of warm grays to color in this little chibi Sora, and that will be the majority of her coloring because she's just mostly gray, except for I gotta make sure on the wings and stuff she's got white feathers. So it's white feathers here. So I guess I will I'll avoid the wings for now, and then I can look at that other reference photo that's not blurry so that I can be sure to leave. And then like the tips of her feathers are white, or at least they look white. Let me look at that other one. I think there's only one place where I really need to leave it white, and that's this big feather right here. There are some little white bits on here, but I can just use a gel pen because it's just a little sliver of white there. Okay. Okay. Got that. Pictures. Back up. My friend's supposed to... Oh, actually says, I have 2 exams in early February, both for botany and graphic design. Ooh. Then the interviews. Wow, an exam? So like a school entrance exam type of thing? I never actually had to do that. None of the state universities here required it. I mean, maybe they do now, but I don't know if it's because I graduated from high schools in the same state and that's why they didn't. But I'm always using the word entrance exam because it comes up a lot in my Japanese studies, like college entrance exam. Even though I'm done with college, finally, unless I do a master's program or something, but not thinking about that right now. Do you know what the exams are like what you have to know? Or even just how long it is or anything like that? So I've never had to do it, so I'm kind of interested, like, what's it like? What's it like to do any kind of college entrance exam? If I'm understanding correctly, and that's what it is. Oh, okay. Hexie says, yeah, exactly. Okay. Well, I hope you get in. Do you think you're going to have to do a lot of studying? I'm just starting from the top and working my way down. I'm just going to do the entire body with this lightest color, except for that one feather that is quite white compared to the rest of the body. I mean, it's not like white because there's no such thing as a true white in nature, what, you know, stuff like that, but it's white enough that I just want to leave it the color of the paper. Okay, now I'm coming down onto the head. Was doing just the fluffy stuff, fluffy feathers. It's kind of like her hairstyle. I guess you could call it a feather style. And I'm trying to keep it in little blocks so that I don't have too many of those lines where dry marker meets wet marker. But there's going to be a lot of texture before I'm done, so I think that'll disappear once I get more layers on. Exie says, honestly, I don't have much idea what they're like. I assume it's about testing if we're able to understand the lessons. Well, it almost sounds like you're like me and you don't know what to expect. Do you think there's some sort of preparatory something or other? Like, I don't know, maybe an online thing or like a book you can get to prepare? Or yeah, that would definitely be good if there was, I think. Okay, I'm using the larger side of the marker now because we're getting this really big open part. Man, coloring is so fun. Like that big boom we had with, they called them adult coloring books, but I think they're just coloring books. But maybe they call them adult coloring books because it's not like based on a kid's show or something. But I've done some, but I actually find coloring my own drawing the most fun. Coloring someone else's drawing is fun, but there's nothing like moving on to the coloring stage of something that you already created yourself in the first place, I guess. I mean, to me. Oh, Sarah's here too! Hello! How's it going? Yay! I haven't seen you in the chat in a long time. Well, maybe not that long. It feels like a long time. Since I started doing 3 streams a week, it makes it feel longer, I think. Oh, I had the window open this whole time, but it never updated that you were live. Oh, I missed 8 minutes, but I'm here. Yay! Adult coloring books normally have more detailed illustrations, smaller bits to color. Cuss words. Yeah, I guess the ones like that, I mean, the ones I have, well, actually, I think I have just one, and it's the Star Wars one. So there's no swearing in there, but yeah. They are more detailed, but I remember when I was a kid, we had this awesome, like, giant coloring book from the 70s, and it was just Art Nouveau, but it was just the lines, and I loved that. And I didn't feel like that was, oh, this is a coloring book for adults. I was just like, oh, this is a cool, different coloring book. So maybe that's why I've always been like, well, it's just a cool coloring book. You don't have to feel ashamed of coloring. Well, I can never join Monday or Wednesdays because of work. Yeah, I'm glad that you could join at least on Friday. I know my streaming schedule doesn't work for too many people because a lot of people like to watch during dinner. I found that out. A lot of people like to watch streaming while they're having dinner. But I like to have dinner at dinner time, so I like, well, it's not as ideal of a time, but something's better than nothing, I think, because I get to meet cool people. Still get to meet cool people, even if it's not dinner time. And for Exy, I'm like way past dinner time, huh? Hours later. Oh, and Exy says, there's something called Science Preparation Program. For those who don't get good scores in the exams, it's still got in the program. For people like me who don't have science background, so I don't want to study for the exam and get proper preparation program for me. So you're going to get into a program designed for people who don't already have some science knowledge, basically. If that's the case, I think that's a good idea. Because there are some basic things that I think get assumed. And the same thing happens with art. Like, I've seen people in various art classes. For instance, we have a program at the university I went to where senior citizens can take classes for free, and I think that program is great because I think it's important to keep learning no matter how old you are or what you're doing. But it was kind of hard for a lot of the senior citizen students who didn't have other experience in, like, the one example I'm thinking of was an art history class. Without having the basic art history foundation, it was a lot harder, and they were asking questions that kind of slowed the class down a lot because they didn't have the same basic foundation class first. They just jumped right into this specialty class. And so I do think it's good if there's a program that's specifically to help get those basics down and get you up to speed with anyone who's trying to get in who already has that kind of background. Okay, the first color is done, and I remembered not to color that one white feather that she has. I'm going to keep these in color order because it's pretty. Oh, look what's in the chat here. So Sarah says, hard to interact with streamers during dinner, I would think. That's true. And I like streaming because I like to talk to you guys. So it's kind of dinner time for me, but I had a late lunch. Ooh. So you can be digesting. Oh, I don't know if you can hear their little nails on the floor, but both of my puppies just came in my room. I thought they might. That's why my door is mostly closed, but it's not latched. Because I thought they might want to come down. And they did, and here they are. Oh, they're running into my chair and stuff. Okay, they're setting one down in the bed, looks like. Well, Chappie's deciding what she wants to do. Aoife's curling up. Yeah, good girl. Oh, for Exie. It's almost 2 a.m. I guess it would be early breakfast. Yeah. It's even past a midnight snack for you. It's a 2 a.m. snack. Okay, so let's see. I think some areas I can just jump to a darker gray than this one. But for the areas where I'm not going to do that jump, I think it'll be the gray feathers on the wings and these feathers underneath the body. Let me look at the other reference. I have 2 different ones. Yeah, because everything else will be a much darker gray, and so I'm not going to waste my time filling it all in with this one, as it's going to get obliterated anyway. But I'll leave a little bit of light on these feathers on the feet, have some little lighter bits. And then this foot is totally in shadow, so actually, no, I'll fill it in. I was thinking maybe I would leave that and just jump to darker for that too, but when I see it, it's like there's a little bit of light hitting like right here. So I want that to be this color. Okay, next. Her wingies. I think I'll do a lot of white marker. Or, what am I trying to say? I'm looking at, here, I'll show you what I'm looking at. I'm looking at these little, oh, try not to get the reflection on there. The reflection of the lights. There we go. The middle part of the feathers have this like little light colored line. Instead of trying to leave that by not markering it in, I don't think that's very realistic because marker always spreads a little bit. When you put it down, it always spreads out a little bit. So I think it would be easy for those lines to get lost. I'm not going to worry about them. I will just use a white gel pen at the end to go zoop, 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 and get some of those in there. For the rest of these, I think I'll use this. I'll use the smaller end. And, okay, I'm trying to look. So it's lighter on the back. So I think the way the light is hitting the back. And then this front part of the wing is mostly the same color. It's not until farther down, more like here, where you start getting those really light looking tips. Okay, so now I'm going to try to color to leave the tips the way I'm seeing them. Or at least to give an impression of that, even if it's not perfect. Because again, the marker spreads, and like even now, it's making it smaller spaces than I was intending, so. Okay, there. And then, these back feathers, these big long ones here, are all pretty light. So let's see, I'm going to try to capture what I'm seeing, which is like they're darker on the top edge for a lot of them. No, it's like they're dark on the top edge for the back 3. Okay, it's very interesting. And then they're darker on the bottom edge. I think it's just the way they're curving in the light. That's pretty good. There. And then this is actually the tail. And it's all pretty dark, so I'm going to just fill the whole thing, and this is her back. Okay, and what about this interesting little bonus feather that's hanging down? It's dark. It's actually so dark, maybe I should have just waited. But anyway, it's too late now, so colored that in. Now this stuff, I'm going to use the third darkest color that I picked because it's darker looking, especially than a lot. So there's a little band right here that's pretty dark in the on the wing, but the rest of the gray. Okay. And there's still some of this. The dark gray that's all right here is also in the wings, but there's so much light stuff also in the wings that's why I skipped a color for this part. Oh, Hexie says, now I'm realizing I've never seen a chibi bird before. It looks cute. Oh, thank you. Yeah, I wasn't sure how it would turn out because I was like, birds are already really chibi. Like, their head is not very big compared to their body. So I'm glad that it turned out pretty. I mean, Pigeon's head is not too small. It's not like a sparrow or something, but... Oh, Satowita is here too. Hello! I'm glad you could make it. Did you get all the mud off? Did you wrap your arms in bandages from all your scratches? Wow, I have 3 chatters. This is seriously the best, like, Friday. I'm just gonna be cruising into the weekend on a high. Let's see, I'm gonna use the big end for this marker because this is such a huge area to fill in. Does anybody have any cool plans for the weekend? I don't have anything in particular other than I might play some Bustafellows Otome game with my other... So Satowita, I don't know if everybody knows, Satowita is the oldest of my younger sisters, and then I might play some Bustafellows with my other younger sister, but otherwise it's a pretty normal weekend. Although tonight I'm going to see the opera Macbeth by Opera Idaho, so that's going to be pretty cool. And also, I've never seen Opera Idaho perform at our big performing arts center, which is called the Morrison Center. I've only ever seen them at the little, it's called the Egyptian Theater. It's just a small, old-timey theater that was restored and has cool, weird events. And I've seen Madama Butterfly there. But it's much smaller than the Morrison Center. So that's why I'm bringing it up. It's much smaller, so this is going to be really interesting to see. And I've never seen a I didn't know there was a Macbeth opera. So this is definitely going to be an interesting show tonight. So that's what's going on with me for the weekend. Oh, Satu, it looked like I got attacked. But it's what happens when one is intimate with a tree. I think that it's interesting to describe trimming a tree that way. So we've got all these lines from the overlapping color, but I think it'll be okay. For one, because I did it the same way the feathers grow down anyway, and then for two, there's going to be even more layers than this on here. Well, Sarah ran out of spoons early today, so no thoughts, head empty mostly. And H, the singy songs, one should not be intimate with a tree. Yeah, we're having fun in the chat today, I think. Okay, I gotta zoom in on Sora here. Okay, so her feathers are light, so you can't see it from this position, but if her head were on the side, you could see the feathers, these curling feathers on the top grow out like this, And it's light in the middle, but you can barely see it. So I'm going to leave these back ones light colored to show that that's the inside of where her, it's like the part in her feather, like part in the hair, but it's her part in her feathers. Oops, wrong side. I want the small side. And then the rest will just be this color for now, unless I make them darker. Couldn't tell if I colored that part already or not. I think I did, and it just dried. There. Maybe I'll do just a tiny bit showing that it's getting dark as the feathers go back around the back of the head. Oh yeah, that's good, that's good, that's good. In fact, I'll just do a little couple lines there. Yeah. Oh, I'm not done though. I need to do the rest of the wings, but I need to look closely, so get my other reference where her wings are still. And look at that. Okay. The singy songs. I missed a letter. Oh, the singy songs. Satoita says, yep, you do have to get to know it really well to trim it right. Sarah says, I had a doctor appointment, but I forgot my hat and I had to drive back. Then I had to get my meds, so I just used up all I had by noon. Yeah, I hate having to go to the doctor or anything. And I was like, well, there goes my half of my day. Because even if the appointment is short, it's so exhausting. So I left your tab open well in advance. Oh, thank you. But Twitch didn't refresh it when you went live like it used to do. That's too bad. I don't know why sometimes it doesn't do that. Because I've had that issue happen to me too. Where because I always keep my own stream up while I'm streaming. In like I have my thing split, my secondary monitor right now, and usually is split. One side has OBS, so the streaming software. And that way I can see what the video looks like going from my computer into Twitch. And then on the other side, I have a tab open with my stream. So one, I can see the chat, which if I wanted to, I could see that in OBS. But since I want to, there's a second purpose for keeping this tab open. And it's to see what Twitch is putting out, because sometimes it's not the same. If, like, my stream could look fine on OBS, but something is wrong on Twitch. So I always have them both open. And I've had that issue before too, what you're describing, where you're like sitting there waiting and then it doesn't actually change, and then so like you gotta like refresh it yourself or whatever, and so that's too bad. But you got here pretty quick, so it's I'm pleased. I'm pleased that you made it. Okay, the farther down we go, the more of this light tip to the feathers is showing. And I don't know, it doesn't really matter as far as coloring goes, but I have a feeling that these light tips are not because of the coloring necessarily, but because of the way the feather works or the way it reflects the light. I could be wrong though. I've never like tried to look too closely into that. Now I'm gonna do that when I pick up her, because they shed their feathers every so often, and she seems to be using her own feathers to make her nest for her eggs. And I put nesting material in there, but ooh, and she got really mad at me, Sora. She got really mad at me when I was cleaning their cages this morning. She was like, "Don't touch my eggs," because I had to move them to get the dirty towel that they were on so that I could put a clean towel. And she was like, "Whoa, whoa." She was very, very mad. She did not want me to mess with her eggs. Now I'm trying to clean in the cage. Like, you you're going to appreciate this when it's done. But all she was like, get away from my eggs. Oh, this is very satisfying doing this little, yes, yes. This little part of, it's so good, so good. Sarah says, I thought I'd be on point today, so it's a good thing I looked up and saw someone posted in chat. Oh, that's super weird that you could see chat, but it didn't update the video. Oh! Did you see my donation? I didn't see it. Thank you. Yay! The Protego Foundation. $10 donation. Thank you. Hooray! I had that up there from last month. The organization I'm supporting this time isn't available on Twitch, so I figured, well, I'll just leave Protego Foundation up. Yay, I'm so happy! No one has ever donated to my Twitch-based donation pool, I guess, or I'm not sure how you describe it, but when they sent me an email saying that that was a feature, I think in November, or it was late December, or sometime in the last couple months. Maybe it was late November, early December. Anyway, I was like, oh, that's perfect for me. So I turned it on right away. Hooray! I'm so happy! I donated when I put the tab up. Oh, yeah, I wonder if it would have, I don't know if it would have, given me a pop-up or what if you had done it during the stream, but yay, I'm so happy that we met our goal. Protego Foundation goal. Okay, I gotta look carefully at the feet. I don't want to overdo. So this is mostly shadow where these feathers are overlapping. And also where the body is casting a shadow on the foot too. I like how it's filling in so far, says Satuita. Thank you. Me too. I hold it up for you guys to see. This is really fun, just using a bunch of grays, all in the same color family, and just building on it. I love doing chibi animals. Looks like it tried to focus and then it didn't do it. There. Okay, and then this foot, I remember. So I'll look again. Yes. So under here, where the body is casting a lot of shadow, there's just going to be a tiny bit of light hitting on these most edgemost feathers. Okay. Alright, I'm done with this color. At least for now. I might add more later to blend stuff or whatever. Sarah says, her love for you is gone. She only loves her boy toy now. Yeah. I don't mind though, because that's the whole reason that I thought, oh, it might be good if we could adopt another pigeon to be Sora's companion, because I can't, like, I physically can't be with Sora all the time, and so I felt bad, like, just leaving her alone most of the day. And so that's okay, because that's what I wanted. I wanted her to, and she loved him right away. I think I told you this already, but she was like instantly into him, and he was like, whoa, 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 whoa. He was not into her, but now they are just, I think they are what you would call a bonded pair, because they're just always together. And Kumo is always a little bit afraid of me for some reason, even though I've never done anything mean to it. Well, I guess I have. I've had to give him medicine before, and it is horrible. You have to like hold him tight and like just force it in their mouth and stuff. And so I guess maybe that's why he's scared of me, because I have had to do that. Sometimes he'll well, not run, but he'll like fly up to wherever Sora is and just like hide next to her now. And I'm like, I'm not gonna do anything. Don't be scared, boy. Sora's not scared. She is a beast. She won't be intimidated by anyone. And sometimes I've got to move her into the cage that we use for transporting Kumo was a really big, like 3 by 4 foot by 2 foot cage that we had for my rats when I had rats for pets a long time ago. And we used that to transport Kumo, and then when we brought it up there, I was like, oh, this is perfect, because as soon as Sora saw Kumo, she started laying eggs. Like a couple days later was her first egg ever, even though we'd had her for a whole year. She never laid an egg. We thought she was a boy because she never laid an egg. And then it just, you know, she got really, I think she's just being protective. So she's aggressive towards us, but I think she knows that there's the potential. You know, she doesn't know that I'm vegan. She doesn't know that I even before I went vegan, I could never eat eggs. Like, I hate the taste of eggs. Ever since I was a kid. And my mom would always try to find ways to make eggs so that I would like them and stuff, and it would never work. Anyway, Sora doesn't know that. So she's just being a good mom and protecting her eggs from the predator, even though that predator is the same person that puts her food in her bowl and cleans up, and it is kind of sad because she used to love me. She used to put little, she would do little nibbles on my hands, like beep, 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 little gentle nibbles, but nah, her nibbles are reserved for Kumo now. She loves her Kumo. Everybody loves Kumo though. When I took him to the vet, everybody was like, oh, he's so beautiful. Like, everybody loves him. They see him. And he is really beautiful. He's a little shining prince. Okay. This is coming along really nicely. I mean, I don't know if I'll be able to get all the color done. So we're already 37 minutes in, but Satuita says, good burb. Yeah, Sora's a good burb. She's a good burb. Oh, but I never got to my point. Sometimes I have to just remove her from the main cage and put her into the small transport cage so that I can clean without her constantly biting me. But at least since she's a pigeon, her bites don't hurt too much. They're kind of annoying, like they feel like somebody pinching you. Like constantly pinching you, like, stop, would you please don't do that. It's not like having a parrot where you actually, you know, if a parrot behaved that way, especially a big parrot, you would be in big trouble because parrots have beaks strong enough to just bite your finger off. Just literally, like, through the bone and everything, so. Pigeons are little gentle foragers, well, I guess parrots are too, but they eat, like, hard nuts and stuff, so. Pigeons are just smaller. Because parrots don't eat meat. Well, they probably would eat meat if it was available, I guess. A lot of, like, squirrels will eat meat if it's available. Let's see. Now it's getting really interesting here. So it's not completely, like, all across here. Some of these feathers have the little darker bits, but some of them don't. So I'm going to try to get that effect. Pay attention to what I'm seeing. There's also a lot of shading like underneath where each layer. So I'm going to just do a little line showing the layers laying on top of each other. Yeah, this is another area where I think it's not necessarily the coloring of the feathers, but the way that they're sitting next to each other, and some of them are higher up or lower, or there's a more space in between, and that's why there's these different shades. Ooh, yeah, it's looking good. It's looking good. Worms are meat. That's true. Yeah, bugs are meat too. So I guess in that way, a lot of birds are meat eaters. And there's lots of good protein. I'm looking forward. It seems like there might be some, there is a company I found out about that has a bug-based protein dog food. And I really like that because that means that there might be a possibility for a bug-based cat food, and then that way the obligate carnivores in our lives could get that animal-based protein that they need without relying on like factory farming and all of those horrible things. But that company does not have a cat food yet. I hope that they come up with one, because that would be the best. I would be super happy. So for now, that's the one thing that I just, because there's vegan cat food, but I haven't seen enough to convince me that it is completely covering. Like, there's not enough research, I guess, yet on the efficacy of a vegan cat food. I mean, if possible, I would like if we didn't have to take the lives of any animals, even bugs, but since some animals that's just how they are, is they eat other animals for their main food, and there's not as much as we can do about that. Unless we make it into some incredible sci-fi future really quickly, where we've somehow made it so that nobody has to die to feed someone else. But that is like millennia in the future, I betcha. Okay. Yay. Well, I guess I'll call it her fringe, sticking out. It is a lot lighter than this, but there's still a little more texture that I want to add. So I'm going to go back to this, go back a shade to lighter, and add in just some lines that way. I think it's like the layering of the feathers, because it's not like it's one big feather, it's a bunch of little feathers layered on top of each other here. In fact, I will use this here too to make these areas a little more, because this is such a stark, like here's a really bright patch and then there's suddenly a really dark patch. So I'm just going to add a little lines in this less dark color to incorporate it better. Plus, she's got a lot of texture right here on her neck. Her feathers are very, what's the word? Like, they're all these teeny tiny slim feathers, and you can almost see through each individual one, like millions of little fingers pointing down. Like, unlike here where it's quite smooth and it's just like one big thing. So I'll try to indicate that as well with some little bit of lines here. And it goes right around her face like this. But then it gets real smooth here. Nice and smooth as it comes off of her beak. Okay, and then let's do the same thing going around her eyes. Yes. Oh, yes. I think this is good. So maybe actually I will take the... So I was using only the chisel side for most of this. I'm going to use the smaller bullet tip to add a few more dark lines that indicate the more textured feathers around the neck. Ooh, yes. Okay, that's good. So here's this darkest color. Actually I'm gonna go through. So this feather that I'm keeping white, oh, look at this reference. It doesn't really have too much indication of shadow, but I'm gonna put just a tiny bit right there. Like, it's not quite the same as the reference image, but reference image is just reference image. This, I'm doing this for the sake of this image here. Let's see. So let's take this one. No. Let's take this one. Oh, small end. I want to do this too. Smooth that a bit so it makes this look like it's under this a little bit more. Oh, yeah. No, Satwita says, now that the color is on, it's really starting to look like her. Yeah, I think so, too. Let's see the camera. Yes, camera, thank you. Yay! She's coming to life. Well, I still have 13 minutes. Who knows? Maybe I can finish the marker today. I'm not going to rush, though, because there's still, I'd want to do little colored pencil details and then some gel pen too, and that definitely won't be able to get to that today. But it would be cool if I could get, because last time I finished cleanly with ink, like the ink was done. And so if I finish cleanly today with the marker work, that would be cool too. That would be a satisfying end. Okay, this really dark color is just going in a couple of spaces, not very much. It's not going to be on her very much. Moving my reference over back and forth. So maybe I just do a little bit under the fringe to really give it a sense of depth. And then, okay, let me get to the other one where her face is this face. So just do a little bit here. And that little bit right under the middle. And then this part is pretty dark, but I'm going to do it in hatching so that it feels like a little bit more of a transition instead of just this big block of dark color. And then to just help it feel a little more attached to this part, I'm going to do a little bit, but not too much, in this ruffly stuff. Cute burb, says Sarah. Yay, I'm glad you think she's cute. She looks kind of deranged in real life, but that's just how she looks. So I'm glad I could get her to look so cute with her giant wide eyes and everything. Oh, I've had that one. Satuija says, this vegan TV dinner is very good. It's Sweet Earth General Tso's tofu. Yes, it's one of my faves. I love that one. It's so good. And I love the quick, easy to make meals too. So good for lunches and stuff. And dinners too when you're in a hurry. I love that one. I wish I was having that. We're having a vegan pizza that we haven't tried before. That's what we're having for dinner over here. Sarah says, well, you were not able to capture the deranged. Oh, good. Yeah, even though she's gotten very protective, I'll call her protective instead of aggressive. Because I think aggressive is just like she's clearly, like if she was aggressive, she would bite me no matter what. But she only bites me when I'm coming into the area with her eggs. So I can tell that she's got a reason. But yeah. If you just look at pictures of her and it just looks like she's wide-eyed constantly, like she's on drugs or something. Oh, let's see. I think this might be good for the grays. Maybe I'll just do like a little bit of just some tiny lines there, and a little here. Oops, I put it out in the order I wanted. I wanted a nice smooth order. Spam bot. I will allow her fake. Oh, there's quite a bit of chat in here. Following up with hippies Sriracha Sunshine. Ooh, I love the hippies too. They're so yummy. I'm about to donate plasma, so I make sure I got the protein. Oh yeah, good idea. You gotta get that. Lots of protein so that your body can make the new plasma. Sarah, spam bot caught me. What the spam bot didn't like was her fake eggs because you scammed her. She likes the fake eggs though. She was protecting them this morning. I was cleaning her cage. I have never seen her so mad what I did was moved her eggs to the lower level so that I could remove the towel and put a clean towel, and she was so mad. Like, she did not want me to be touching them and moving them. I was like, whoa. She was just like losing it. But I just, like I said, I put her in the little, well, it's not little, it's quite a big cage, but not big enough for like a pigeon to live in. I put her in the transport cage. And that helped her calm down too. Like, I don't know, if she's out of range, I guess, or something, then she calms down a bit, and she doesn't like attack me when I pick her up to put her back in her main cage with Kumo. So she knows. She's a smart bird. I think that's why, because like I said, she knows that humans are predators, and so she got to protect them. She just I think she's fooled by the fake eggs. That's the one thing. I'm like, I'm sorry I have to trick you, but it's for your own good. Let's see. Do I want to... So we've got about 5 minutes. I could get the base pink color, because almost everything is just pink from here on out. Except for her eyes are like a very... Let me see if I can get another... They're almost white. They're kind of yellow, but they're so light colored that they're almost white. So maybe I should actually do that real quick. I'll do this E41 and color in her eyes. E41. Just do a little bit and until we're out of time, until there's like a couple minutes left. Oh yeah, that's perfect. That's perfect for her eye color. And then most of the rest of her is pink. Oh, this is actually perfect for the base color. E02, and it's called Fruit Pink. E02, E02. So many grays. Yep, and I only chose half of the warm grays available to me. This is just way too much to do. One step, I did 2 steps. 2 steps between. Okay, I'm just going to color in all of her pink areas with this color. So that includes her feetsies. Let me see, is this a feather? Oops. I missed. I thought it was a claw, but I can see now that it's a feather. Right here. There, got that. And around her eyes. And this eye. And then the beaky. And the beak is the biggest reason I wanted to use a super light color to start, because the tip of the beak is quite light. Like, I don't think you'd call it pink if it was just that color by itself. But then it darkens the farther back it goes into definitely a pink color. Okay, so what shall be the next dark color? So we use this E02. I don't know if I want to go into more of these earth tones, so E for earth tone, or if I want to go into like actual pinks. Definitely not these purpley ones. Something like this, maybe. Yeah, I like this. Or maybe this one. I'll try this one. R32 Peach. R32 Peach. Oh, I'm so glad to hear it. Exie says it looks so vibrant for grays, though. Really liked it. Yeah, I'm glad to hear that. Maybe it's because I picked the warm gray. But yeah, it's just all gray. Except for, and that's what she looks like, too. I'm looking forward to doing the colored pencil at the end, though, because I want to add little hints of the, like, purple and green color that you can see depending on where she is and where the light is. It reflects purple and green. Her feathers do, so it's very, very interesting. And I think it's just the structure of the feather. I don't think they're actually colored that color. Okay. And I got the feetsies done. So, okay. This is such a small area, but I'm going to try to leave a little area light colored. Show the structure, because this isn't just a flat thing. This eyelid is like a little, it's like a little tiny bump or something. I don't know how to describe it, but it's got a 3D shape to it. This is a very tiny space, and just do my best to show that. Satuita says, tangent to false advertising thing as products for special diets. We got noodles that said made with cauliflower, but on closer inspection it came as regular wheat noodles. And the last ingredient was cauliflower. Well, I guess they're not lying. It was made with cauliflower. It was just not made mostly with cauliflower. That's why it's really hard when I'm looking like, I'm always like, it says plant-based, but that doesn't mean it's vegan, so I have to like read the nutrition information and the ingredients to make sure, because it'll say plant-based, but it'll have like chicken stock, and I'm like, what? No, I don't want to eat animals, okay? Like, plant-based should not have animals, but at least there's some sort of plant-based certification in the US. I think it's just a third-party place that you can get it from, but I believe that if you have that certification on your food, then it means it's actually like plant-based in that it's all plants and no animals in it. So that's nice that you can look for that, but it is a kind of annoying to always have to check, because they'll do stuff just like what you said. Sarah, just a sprinkle in the end. So yeah, like they just put a single cauliflower in it. Meep, and mix one little tiny, just a little one like this. Boop. It made with cauliflower. Ooh. Yeah, it's frustrating and amusing at the same time. Okay. Well, I'm going to call it good here. There's still a little bit more I could do with the marker. If I have extra time between now and the next Chibi Friday, I might just finish off the marker then, so that I can start with just colored pencils. But either way, I think this is good for now. And yeah, I got a lot of coloring done, even if I didn't, I mean, it wasn't my goal to get it all done, so. Oh, it doesn't even come up as, the pinks aren't getting picked up. They are a lot more vibrant looking. At least what I'm seeing on my, monitor. But they'll look even more vibrant once I get the really, like, this kind of color added into there. But that'll be all for this live stream and for live streaming this week. I'll be back on Monday for Inktober 52, and the prompt is Angel, because my Inktober group has been working on their prompts. So I'll be thinking about how can I make a griffin an angel. I just draw a halo on it, I guess. I'll think about it, though. Oh, Satuita, looks really good. I know you're going to do more, but it looks like a finished illustration. Oh, thank you. It already looks finished. Wow. Good. That means that I'm advancing at a good rate, because this has only been 2 sessions. Some of my chibis have been taking me forever, but yeah, thank you for your kind words. All right, I'm going to leave you guys for now. It was so great chatting with all of you, and seriously, it's like I feel really good. I'm feeling really Genki, really energized. Hopefully I'll see you sometime next week. And even if not, thank you so much for watching.